The people who don't understand the principle behind why people are upset with KC for how he moved with Anaya are quite literally illiterate. As we know, there is a literacy crisis here in the United States, and people's general reaction to what happened between KC and Anaya really highlight that. Functional literacy is essentially the ability to take your literacy skills, like comprehension through reading, writing, information analysis, and being able to apply that to practical everyday life situations. Literacy requires critical comprehension skills. That's essentially where you can analyze subtext, where you can track the cause and effect of things, and where you can identify themes that are not so obvious and that are underlying. How does this tie into Love Island discourse? Because somebody with low literacy and low comprehension will see things at a very basic surface level. So that is essentially where people get the argument that Casey is simply exploring his doing nothing wrong. Basic surface level explanation of Love Island rules. Casey's tone of voice, the way he is condescending, the way he has manipulated and lied, the way that, his body language is, everything like that, those are a lot more abstract inferences, and they require a level of understanding of maybe psychology and subtleties and nuance in order to go past the very, very basic surface level argument of it's okay for him to explore because logically and basically those are the rules of Love Island. Those require a bit of a deeper understanding and more comprehension. It's literally directly tied to literacy skills. Declining literacy is also tied to a lack of critical thinking and inability to textually analyze situations. A higher literacy argument would be one that can hold two truths at once, right? Casey can explore. Yes, those are the rules of the game, but also the way that he is doing it is hurtful. Low literacy argument is one that is only able to process one track, and that track is simply that Casey can explore. And so then anything that he does is essentially excusable because he's doing it in the name of exploration. An audience that cannot deeply read into things also is missing how Casey's actions are hurtful through the nuances of what he's doing, right? The body language, the manipulation tactics, the gaslighting, the degradation, all of that are more in the nuance and not so in your face. All in all, people are simply lacking analytical skills, the inability to look past the basic premise of the show and to really critically evaluate the morality of human behavior. The amount of people that defend KC and in doing so villainize Anaya really highlight the grander societal issue that Black women, especially darker skinned Black women, largely go unprotected. That is why the terms intersectionality and misogynoir are so important here, because they really explain how Black women, especially darker skinned Black women, are at the intersections of these vulnerable states, right? They are darker skinned, colorism, they are Black, racism. And aside from that they would share with Black men, they are women on top of that. Sexism. What I'm noticing here is that the protection of Black men is not afforded to Black women in the same way. If you need an example of this from society at large, we can point to the Say Her Name movement. The Say Her Name movement was created specifically because conversations about police brutality in the Black community heavily centered Black men, and it largely ignored police brutality against Black women. And so Say Her Name was created because it really wanted to address the fact that Black women were also disproportionately being brutalized against police and that they deserve to be in conversations as well. Now, specifically within the Black community, generally when Black men are held accountable for the abuse or mistreatment of Black women, the argument for the Black men is that people are just trying to tear a Black man down. Instead of addressing the main issue of a Black man harming a Black woman, now it is detracted and pivoted away from that conversation into a general conversation about black men and racism that they face. When people do this within the Love Island context, where they say that anybody who, wants to hold Casey accountable just wants to tear a black man down, really leverages the systemic reality of racism, uses it as a shield for Casey to protect him, and ultimately victimizes him, right? Instead of focusing on the actual conversation of a black man harming a black woman. In this, the emotional harm done to Anaya is completely sidelined. The amount of vitriol that people have for Anaya is also not just because she's a black woman, but she's a darker skinned black woman.
You don't be saying shit. For your whole life, you're not transparent. Anytime you had a time to talk, Casey, you don't say shit.
Okay. And that shit got interrupted.
You didn't say anything, Casey.
I couldn't.
You said yes.
Okay. We've had these. We heard you talk all day. Can I say something?
No.
We've had this conversation. Be upset, but I gotta stand on all 10.
Fuck you.
Dad, I can only say sorry so many fucking
I
times.
just saw.
No.
Yes, you did. Don't fucking lie.
Stop.
Darker skinned black women are seen as people who are not deserving of protection, not just in society at large, but also, unfortunately, within the black community. The amount of hate and vitriol that people have towards Anaya and the lack of protection they have for a black woman who was clearly disrespected by a black man really just shows the intersections of colorism and misogynoir at play when it comes to her.
Stupid bird brain bitch. All these bitches fucking stupid. Stupid bird brain bitch. Stupid bird brain bitch. Stupid bird brain bitch. All these bitches fucking stupid. Stupid bird brain bitch.
This is a call.